Florida Highway Patrol confirmed that in their initial report, but they have not determined who killed the 56-year-old. Attorney Ben Crump says witnesses have told the family that the suspect knocked Neal to the ground, and seconds later, the officer's truck hit him and rolled on top of him.
The witness said right then, they were like, "You hit somebody." And they said the cop got out and didn't pay them any attention and just ran after the person he was pursuing.
How certain are you that the Orlando Police Department is responsible for Mr. Neal's death and not the suspect in this case?
Well, that's why we're asking for transparency.
They just left him there under the truck like a piece of meat, like he meant nothing.
Wow.
Like he meant absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And we still don't have any answers.
That was Neal's daughter, who you just heard from. She says she just wants the truth, and so far she has not heard anything from Orlando police. The department did give us a statement. It says the vehicle the officer was in does not have a dash camera. They will release more evidence once the investigation is complete. As for the officer, he is still on unpaid leave, and the department is conducting their own internal investigation to determine whether or not their pursuit policy was violated. In Orlando, I'm Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, turning now to our forecast. What a glorious day. I hope you got to spend some time outside
Another
today.
A+. Didn't want to come in. Did not want to come in. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now with that pinpoint accurate forecast.
Yeah, and some changes coming our way. Just subtle changes tomorrow, maybe bigger down the road as we get into the middle and latter stages of next week. But we're going to soak this in while we have it. We're at 77 right now in Oviedo. Sanford, we're checking in at 78. Micah, one of the cooler spots, relatively speaking. We're at 72. Wildwood, we're back to 68 degrees, I should say. We're on the western side, on the cooler side anyway. 9 o'clock, we're at 70 degrees if you're heading out this evening. By 11 o'clock tonight, we're at 65. Still very warm overnight. Even though we have a cold front coming, we'll see a few extra clouds as that front comes through, but it's not going to produce any rainfall. We'll take you back further to the north and west, and you see where that blue color is on the screen here. That's where we're seeing the temperature change over the past 24 hours for the cooler. So again, 24 hours ago, Nashville was about 13 degrees warmer than this. So 13 degrees cooler again as compared to 6:33 last night at this time. Same deal in Atlanta, we're about 8 degrees cooler. So again, it is a subtle change, but nonetheless, we are going to turn a little cooler tomorrow, maybe even cooler than that, though, at the end of this 7-day forecast. We're going to talk much more about that in your 7-day forecast, guys, coming up at about 6:47.
You. A woman is now facing charges accused of shooting and killing a man in an apparent case of road rage months after it happened near Primrose and Colonial Drive. She is now in the Orange County Jail without bond. News 6 rushed to get answers following the shooting at an intersection.
Yeah, it's quite a busy spot in East Orlando, right next to 2 bus stops and surrounded by shops and neighborhoods. News 6 reporter Stephanie Rodriguez explains where the case stands.
It was here during the morning rush that the state attorney says Tina Algeo shot and killed a man after hitting his car. The 47-year-old is now facing charges of second-degree murder. It was a traumatic moment that has filled her with anxiety. That's what one woman tells me she's had to live with since Algeo allegedly shot 42-year-old Mikhail Svetkov on December 2nd. The witness I spoke to didn't want to go on camera, but was one of the first people here on scene because she was just 2 cars away. She tells me she was standing over Svetkov as he bled out and Algeo screamed. She told police that she heard Algeo say, "Oh my God, I shot him," and claims Svetkov was punching her and trying to pull her from the car. Algeo told detectives in a statement that she confronted Svetkov after he was tailgating her and bumped into her car. Her statement to authorities says she accidentally hit his car as she followed him to get his license plate information. According to investigators, red light camera footage shows Svetkov opening the door to Algeo's car before he was shot. Last month, she was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, with her attorney saying the weapon was her car. She was released on bond, but is back in jail after an Orange County grand jury indicted her for second-degree murder on Tuesday. She had her first appearance on that charge on Thursday.
Tina Algeo.
The state's request to keep her without bond was granted. State Attorney Monique Worrell said in a statement that this case is of great public importance and needed to be reviewed by a grand jury. She went on to say, quote, "Gun violence stemming from senseless disputes will not be tolerated, and our office will hold those who commit these acts accountable." I spoke with Algeo's attorney on the phone, who tells me they're frustrated with the second-degree murder charge as they believe this was a case of self-defense, and they will be demanding that the videos of the incident be shown at Algeo's next court hearing. In Orlando, Stephanie Rodriguez, Getting Results, News 6.
Chances are when you drink a glass of water from the tap, you assume the water is clean and healthy. New standards are being put in place by the Environmental Protection Agency. Those new rules target potentially harmful chemicals with links to cancer.
Yeah, on Tuesday, Orange County approved millions to comply with these new rules, and we learned of the few facilities that would not meet the new standards if they were put into effect today. So News 6 reporter Laverne McGee has those details.
You might be surprised to know how many chemicals are lurking in your drinking water. The Environmental Protection Agency regulates how much and what types of chemicals are allowed. Some of the chemicals they set standards for are commonly known as PFAS. These are man-made chemicals found in a lot of products you buy at stores. Here on the EPA website it says, PFAS exposure over a long period of time can cause cancer and other illnesses that decrease quality of life or result in death. In 4 years, the EPA will impose stricter rules on how much PFAS will be allowed in your drinking water. The county approved $4.5 million to make it happen. We checked their website and found that 2 of their facilities would not be in compliance with the new standards. The EPA limit for PFAS in drinking water is 4.0 parts per trillion. But take a look at this PFAS test result chart. All those hundreds of NDs means not detected, and that's a good thing. But the Malcolm Road facility shows a level of 4.7. And the County Road 535 facility shows a level of 5. Orange County is in compliance today, but that is too high with the new rules. We asked Orange County Utilities for an interview, but they would only provide us with this statement. It reads in part, Orange County Utilities selected consultants for the design of water quality improvements for the County Road 535 water supply facility. And if monitoring confirms water quality improvements are necessary for the Malcolm Road water supply facility. Toxicology expert Dr. Alex LeBeau is an adjunct professor with the University of South Florida. He says Orange County is not going to be alone in tackling this issue.
In Central Florida, some areas are more populated than others. EPA typically classifies water systems as the number of the people that they serve. Sometimes they may be rural or small water systems, and they have different requirements for those currently. Now, that's going to change as 2029 approaches. But when you're talking about those smaller utilities, they may have certain districts that are set up where they only monitor a certain different constituents.
Laverne McGee, Getting Results, News 6.
All the things you take for granted, you just assume, like we said, you assume like, oh, that's good. But I rarely drink tap water anymore. It's always some kind of filtered. Or
makes you think when you're brushing your teeth or taking
right.
a shower, you gotta naturally, that's gonna get in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a Brita. I mean, that's just a safe play when you don't live in, I mean, New York City, they're good. But anywhere else, a Brita is needed.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Hey, if you're tired of the polarization in politics, Attorney John Morgan is right there with you. He's announced plans to start a new political party. This guy knows how to make headlines. Morgan wants to represent, quote, those of us stuck in the middle.
It's not a novel concept. I mean, we've heard this a couple of times, but in a post that ends with #ForThePeople, Morgan says his lawyer is drafting up the paperwork. We have no idea what kind of issues this proposed party would be focused on, but clickorlando.com looks back at the history of this and his history of reacting to political decisions in the Sunshine State.
He has threatened many times to run for governor himself, but he says the governor's mansion is not up to par for him, so he won't
too small, probably for
probably. But he knows how. He's a big Democratic donor. That's no secret. But even he says he's disenfranchised with the way things are going, as are a lot of people.
I get it. I mean, how many times have you heard from people? I wish there was just another option.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think that may get there, but whether he's the guy, I mean, he's got the pockets for it.
I mean, he did marijuana. I mean, he didn't. Well, he does do it.
He does do it
because he's pot daddy on Twitter.
That's true. So. But he led the fight to get the Amendment 4 passed. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see.
Yeah. Here are some of the other stories trending right now on clickorlando.com. One of the oldest ice cream stores in America is coming to Orlando next month. The original rainbow cone is coming to Waterford Lakes Town Center. Now, we'll be here all night if they start talking about their flavor options, because there are many. So check out those at clickorlando.com. Have you heard of them?
Never heard of her. Have to check her out, though.
Yeah, sounds delicious.
Sounds good to me. And a total lunar eclipse is coming to Central Florida. Mark your calendar, March 15th. It'll turn the moon blood red early in the morning. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, we know him. He has the full timeline at clickorlando.com, and you don't need special glasses to see this one.
Don't look at the moon.
Do not look straight. But anyway, so there's March 15th. A chance encounter that led to getting results for a homeless veteran.
Yeah, Anthony Eugene was tired of a leaky roof and unreliable transportation. That's when the Red Suitcase Ministry stepped in to get him solutions.
And mix space and Black History Month together sounds like a great lesson. It is just the latest free course offered by the Orange County Library System. Crystal Moyer gets a sneak peek coming up next. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results for Horizon West, Barrett Island, and all of Central Florida. And we'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Thursday evening traffic alert. You're going to want to watch out along 408 and, of course, the 429. Some lane closures will be happening. With good weather, they ramp this stuff up, so be careful. And then northern portions of 417, kind of south of Lake Jessup, down towards the county line there of Orange and Seminole, puts you right around Aloma. We'll have some lane closures as well. Good thing is no complete shutdowns. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Yeah, you know what we're going to talk about? Outer space. And you know what else? It's, of course, Black History Month. Yeah.
A group of preschoolers getting a lesson that's out of this world, learning about astronaut Mae Jemison.
She was the first African-American woman to go to space.
In 1992, Jemison flew on board the Space Shuttle Endeavour, launching from Kennedy Space Center. The lesson, a part of just one of hundreds of classes and activities offered by the Orange County Library System, and they're free. Hungerford Elementary School teacher Dion Joseph brings her pre-K class here every month.
They're learning subtraction, they're learning vocabulary, you know, they're getting concepts that they just wouldn't get at home.
The lesson started with story time.
I learned about space, astronauts.
Then they got hands-on with an activity creating
a rocket ship.
And what does a rocket do?
It goes to the moon.
Learning outside the classroom and sharing a special message to the next generation of leaders.
If you can dream it, if you believe it, and you work hard for it, anything is possible.
Encouraging them to follow their dreams, whatever they are. Is this something that you might want to do when you get older? Go into space? No, that's okay.
I want to be a teacher.
You want to be a teacher?
I want to dive.
For more information on Orange County Library System programs, you can head to clickorlando.com/insider. From Eatonville, Crystal Moyer, getting results, News 6.
Those kids are so
Oh my
cute.
gosh, I could listen to them talk all day.
I know.
And it is so great to see those kids being inspired to become astronauts and to know that that is an option for them. It's just,
It's
I mean,
wonderful.
it's great.
And I think if you start your day with kids like that, you feel so hopeful about our future and just
Yeah.
inspired. I love that.
I love it. All right, let's take you outside. Love this too. Live look, Launch Credit Union, Port Cam, overlooking Port Canaveral. The sun setting.
Ooh, look at that water.
The
just like
water
glass.
looking nice and calm out there, and the temperatures are just dynamite. Can't complain. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now. I know you mentioned that we're going to have some changes to talk about. Will they be super noticeable changes?
I don't think, not at least the first one isn't. The second one might be a little bit more noticeable, but the one coming tonight into tomorrow is, I mean, we're just going back to the mid-70s.
It's not going to ruin my weekend, is it?
It is not. And in fact, it is going to make your weekend very nice.
Nice.
We just cut to the chase. Here's a live look outside right now, Port Canaveral, Brevard County, with our Launch Credit Union camera. You guys mentioned it. It is nice and quiet out there, just a gentle breeze. Air temperatures right now in the low to mid 70s, still at this hour as the sun is going down. Gorgeous evening to be outside. That's how it's going to remain for the next couple of days as well. 66 in Wildwood, Claremont. Good evening. We are back in the low 70s. Holopot, we're checking in at 72. Melbourne into Palm Bay, we're back to the low 70s as well. Good evening in Apopka, we're at 72. Same for us just up the road in Mount Dora into Eustis. Now here is the cold front. It is working its way right now into the Florida Panhandle. There is a difference in air temperature. It's not huge. It's in the mid-70s in Jacksonville, ahead of the front, behind the front. In Atlanta, we're in the mid-60s, lower 60s in Nashville. So there is a subtle temperature change coming. It's just not going to be huge. Tomorrow morning, watch out for a touch of fog out there. It is going to be super patchy and mainly south and west of Orlando due to the fact that we have that front coming through. It's going to mix things up a little bit and prevent that fog from really settling in. 56 when you wake up in Groveland tomorrow morning. Palm Bay, we're at 55. West Melbourne, we're back to the upper 50s. Same deal for us into Melbourne itself. We're at 76 tomorrow in Groveland in your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
So that's our cool down tomorrow, mid-70s. So we are going to be a degree or two below where we should be for this time of the year, but nonetheless, gorgeous afternoon. Starting off with a few passing clouds. We'll see more sunshine into the afternoon. 68 in Palm Coast, 68 in Daytona Beach tomorrow, back to the low to mid-70s along the Space Coast. As that front comes through, we're not going to see any rain chances with this. We're going to keep things dry through Friday as we close out the work week tomorrow, right on through the weekend. Just a little bit of rain chances coming back Tuesday. And then especially Wednesday into Thursday. And I think it's going to be early in the morning on Thursday where we're going to see the best opportunity for some rain and thunderstorms as our next system slides through. We're going to fast forward into next week now. This is going to be Tuesday afternoon. Note the lines on your screen. That is a nice southerly flow of wind coming back up from the Caribbean and Southwest Atlantic, pumping in the warmth. So after this mini cool down, if you want to call it that, we're going to warm things back into the low to mid 80s next week. Then we're going to be focused on this next front. It's going to be a bigger one than the one coming through. This one may be responsible for a multi-day severe weather outbreak just towards our north into the deep south. Don't think it's still going to keep that power as it works its way through central Florida, but something we're watching. Scattered showers and storms nonetheless possible. You see 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. We'll fine-tune that timing as we get closer, but nonetheless, as this pushes through later in the day Thursday, note that blue and light green color coming back, some cooler air coming down the pipeline, and I think this one has a better opportunity to have it feel a little different. In terms of that severe weather threat, again, that is likely staying towards our north of central Florida. We're going to keep a close eye on it, where the main event of any kind of severe weather to really start the spring season is going to be in the deep south. Very, very rare for the Storm Prediction Center. That's the NOAA Storm Prediction Center, by the way, that issues these outlooks. You rarely see a 7-day or 6-day outlook, and you certainly rarely see that extra heightened level there, that 30%. So some mean thunderstorms going to be likely in parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas as we go through the day Tuesday. So we're going to be watching that for our friends in the deep south. As for us, it's nice and quiet for the next several days. 77 on Saturday. Ginger, there's your weekend.
Ooh.
Mid to upper 70s and sunshine, okay?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go. There's the 80s on Wednesday, and there's increasing rain chances and a little bit of wind with that storm, guys, next Thursday.
Oh, I am not mad at it at all. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, as Heart Health Awareness Month comes to a close, it's important to remember the symptoms that come with heart complications. They include chest discomfort, nausea, and shortness of breath.
That last symptom led one local man to a shocking discovery that changed his life forever. Arjana Malalhalal shares his journey.
2015, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure at 10% of my heart. And just diet, exercise. We were able to get in medication and, of course, good health care. I was able to get back to pretty close to full. And then 2022, I got hit with COVID, went to 10%, and that's where I'm at. But I coded twice, and I ended up with an LVAD 3 or a HeartMate 3, which is an LVAD, which is a left ventricular assisting device. I have a pump connected to my heart, 2 batteries, and a controller.
Critter was told he would never end up on the heart transplant list, but defied all odds and is now one of 3,000 patients placed on that list. And for his fitness trainer, Vishnu Singh, who has no cardiac issues himself, his story is still encouraging.
His story it's inspired me. There's days I don't want to train, there's days I don't want to eat well, but seeing him go through all he's gone through and still push to fight to take his life back, it motivates me to not give up on myself either and to keep going for the things I want to do.
Critter carries one piece of advice throughout every day.
You don't give up, you get up. And to say the old cliche, it changed my life, it has.
In Orange County, Jana Manahalal, Getting Results, News 6.
Wow.
You don't give up, you get up. I mean, that is as good as it gets. I love that
It's a t-shirt,
quote.
a bumper sticker, everything.
And I love that mantra. That is something
Yeah.
you tell yourself every day, and especially a gentleman like that going through all that. So
Yeah, he knows.
wow. Well, we are hitting the road to Oviedo, a great place, very popular. If you live there, if you work there, let us know what makes it special. Those concerns also, we do want to hear those so we can look into them. Head to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad to share your story. We'll be right back. We first reported on the Red Suitcase Ministry a few years ago. It started when Carl Tipton, a Seminole County deputy and school resource officer, came across a homeless veteran in need. So Tipton used social media to get the community involved, and together they raised enough money to get him a home.
Oh, since then, the Red Suitcase Ministry has gotten results for hundreds of other people. News 6's Julie Broughton shows us his latest effort.
So that's what I do. I just sit here till sundown.
When the sun starts to set.
Oh, there we go. It starts.
And the air begins to cool.
The spectacle of the migratory bird going back, I mean, thousands and thousands of them.
You'll find Anthony Eugene in his favorite spot.
That's one of the advantages of retired. You get a chance to do a lot of simple things.
But life has been anything but simple for this Navy vet.
The main leak is in this area here. You can see it. I had to remove all this.
His roof has been leaking for years.
And he got a big leak up there.
It's beyond the point of being repaired. It needs to be replaced. But Eugene is on a fixed income. He's fallen behind on bills and home maintenance. To top it off, he has health issues.
Where's the main leak coming over here?
Yeah.
That's when Carl Tipton from the Red Suitcase Ministry stepped in.
I'm seeing a lot of our senior citizens that they get behind. Maybe the family's out of state. There's no family around to help bail them out. and they get behind their bills, they get behind really the upkeep of their homes. I see that a lot.
Tipton heard about the veteran need and used his social media platform to get results. In no time, there was a commitment from a roofing company and a contractor willing to help.
Second I saw I was a military vet, I wanted to jump in and see if we can't just do something to help.
We all have different gifts in life, and whether it's my ability through the company to give back with building materials or funds, Carl's ability to network and reach out to make things happen. I feel like God has been in our lives to bring us together to make things happen for the good.
Red Suitcase Ministry is this bridge. There's needs out there, all kinds of needs out there. And there's people that want to fill these needs, but they don't know how. So what we do is we highlight the need through social media. We connect the need with the people that want to help.
Within days of our interview, crews were hard at work atop Eugene's home.
Red Suitcase, they literally make things happen that you thought would never change. And I thought I was doomed to live with a leaky roof for the rest of my life.
Now he can look forward to more sunsets and clear skies.
Outdoors, it's in my blood.
Knowing he has the peace of mind he can get out of the rain.
And it's going to be even more enjoyable now with a new roof. Wow, that's going to put a new twist to it. That's going to put a new twist.
Wow.
All right.
You know, we like to say we get results for people, but certainly results were gotten.
That's right.
That's
The
right.
power of community, the power about caring
Love
about
that.
your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what it's all about.
It's in
though.
short
We're
supply,
stronger
but
together.
But I love highlighting that it's not really in short supply. There are still people who take care of others and do care about the betterment of a community. So good to
And I
see
think
that.
sometimes people want to help, they just don't know where.
Or
But
how.
when you
Yeah.
when you tell them, when you give them all the tools, like I need you here, people will show up for you
They
every
will.
single time, and we love that. All right, thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. We'll see you back at 11. Take care.
Our pancreas is an underappreciated part of our anatomy. It's constantly working to assist with digestion and regulate hormones. And when something goes wrong, it can be extremely painful and dangerous. Joining us now to discuss how to keep this very important organ healthy is Dr. Mel Wilcox from the Orlando Health Digestive Health Institute. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so this is a question I've had for a long time. Where is my pancreas?
It lives right behind your stomach. It's about a pound or so, and that's why it has certain manifestations when you get sick, because it's up here.
Okay, all right, here's my follow-up question. Why is it so important?
It does two primary functions. It makes enzymes so you can digest your food, and hormones, as you mentioned, primarily for glucose control.
Okay, so you specialize in treating pancreatitis.
Right.
What exactly is that?
That's an acute inflammatory process of the pancreas caused primarily by alcohol or gallstones and perhaps triglycerides. Those are the three most common causes we see.
Is there anything else that contributes to it? Is there a genetic component?
There's an important genetic component, but one underappreciated is smoking, which actually is as bad as alcohol, and the two together are worse than either one alone.
Oh my goodness,
Yes,
okay, yet
yes.
another reason to quit, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so why is this so painful? I mean, so many people that have pancreatitis just say it's the worst pain I've ever felt.
We think it's probably because there's so many nerves in and around the pancreas, but when you get it, you really know you got it because it hurts like crazy.
Yes, and it is
very painful.
quite dangerous. You were telling me the statistic that 2 in 10 people that get pancreatitis actually...
If it's severe, which is about 20%, 2 out of 10 of the severe can die. So it can be bad.
Okay, but that doesn't even mean that it's pancreatic cancer. It's just this inflammation of the pancreas.
Yes. So generally pancreatic cancer can present with pancreatitis, but usually not.
When should people really start taking this seriously? If they've had several bouts of pancreatitis and they've just basically stayed at home and waited for it to resolve, what else can they possibly do?
Well, if you've had an attack and you've confirmed it, then you need to try to figure out what caused it, because if you can figure out what caused it and remove it, then you may prevent an additional attack, which could be the bad one that kills you.
Oh my goodness. Well, we don't want that to happen.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
So what do you say to your patients? You know, what can we do as a preemptive measure to keep our pancreas healthy so we don't end up in the hospital with pancreatitis?
The main thing is maintain a normal weight, good diet, moderation of alcohol, and don't smoke.
Okay.
And have good genes.
And have good genes.
Right.
Words to live by. It's another reason to choose well with Orlando Health. And if you would like more information, you can visit orlandohealth.com/digestivehealth.